Hi, this is Mr. Max. So I'm looking at paper one, core, the one that was written in 2016. Since this is our last year for our learners doing the old grade 12, I thought it would be better that if I can work out something for you guys as well. Right, so the instructions are normal. Um, you may use calculators for this, non-programmable calculators is 60 mark paper 1 hour 15 minutes. This is normally the one that you write in the afternoons. All right, let's get directly to the question. The first one here, they are saying you are given the number 1329. You are supposed to rearrange the digits to get the largest possible number. Okay, so in order for us to do that, right, in order to do that, you just take the number as it is and you start with the biggest digit, which is 9. Okay, so 9 is the biggest. The second one is 3, then 2, then 1. So 9,321. Okay, this one here, you should know that 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams. So you should simply multiply 3.7 times 1,000, which is 3,700 grams. Okay. This one wants you to list all the factors of 38. These are all the numbers. 1 goes there. 2 goes in that number. 3 doesn't. If you add, you get, you get 11. 4 doesn't go there. 6 will not even go there because 2 and 3 should go in the same number. You can think of something else. Half of that is 19. And then 38. And if you look, 1 times 38, 2 times 19, these are the factors of 38. Okay. Right, you're supposed to use, you can use your calculator if you can write this as a decimal. Well, this is straightforward questions. I don't expect you to have problems with this type of questions, okay? Just, you are in examination, just take out your calculator and say 18 over 25, and then you give the answer as a decimal, all right? Well, I believe that, let's see if I start again. So 18 divided by 25 equal to, well, you get 0.72. So you can't go wrong there, okay? So this is 0.72. Again, an easy mark that you can get there. Well, you're supposed to write this as a percentage. When you write 67 over 1000 as a percentage, simply multiply that obviously with 100. And then you're going to get nothing but 6.7%. Again, straightforward. You can also use a calculator in order for you to solve that particular question. B, you're supposed to simplify the following expression. So I'm going to take the like terms together. So that's going to give you 7a. And when you take the 3b and the 7b, that's going to give you minus 4b. Just make sure that you get to that collecting of the like terms. Right. Petrus leaves Ocho at 12 minutes past 8 in the morning and arrives in Windhoek at 3 minutes to 12. So I guess this is still in the morning. So you're going to have 11:57, and I'm going to take away 8:12. We'll see where that brings me. Okay, so that's going to give me 5, and that's 4. So now you have to look at how many hours is that. Okay, so it's 3 hours and 45 minutes. Okay. Right, here they ask you to draw a line or lines, could be more, of symmetry in the following shapes. 2 marks, so I guess you take your ruler, okay, and let's see if we make it a little bit thinner. Let me make it red. So, line of symmetry, well, we can start over. We can start over. That would be the line of symmetry. So just move it a little bit slightly. Slight movement of that line in such a way. Now let me see. Kind of get used to all of this. So let me just delete it, start over again. Maybe if I bring in my ruler, and I know that I'm looking at to see if with the ruler, maybe if I can move my ruler a bit. Let's see. Yeah, more or less something like that. And if I were to draw it, that will be one line of symmetry. Another one, obviously for this one, will just go right through, just like that. And this can't be, because remember, if we're talking about here, this has a little shaded area here, so you're going to have a little problem there. So one line of symmetry, there's no other line that you can draw that will make sure that if you fold it, that one side is superimposed on the other side, so to speak. All right, then question 8a. Miriam plants 2/5 of her 80 hectares with potatoes. Work out the area in hectares that she plants with potatoes. So that is 2/5 of the 80 hectares. Okay. Oh, this is again, take out your calculator, and so you don't make mistakes in the examination. All right. You might know the answer, but 2/5, multiply that by 80. Hit enter. All right. Then you know that 32 hectares. Okay, what fraction is not used for potatoes? So the not, so let's first consider 2/5. So that's 1 minus 2/5. They are looking for fraction. Okay, so whole thing will be 3/5 of that is not used for potato. Okay, right. So again, this is just 1 mark and 1 mark there. The next question, well, you're supposed to complete putting smaller than, bigger than, or equal to. Right, so this is 30%. 30% is nothing but 0.3, and this is nothing but 0.25. Looking at place value, you realize that that one is bigger. All right, for the cube root at 8, perhaps you should take your calculator and see if you can get an estimation, because that's an irrational number. So the cube root, I just want to see where mine is. I have a square root button there. Cube root is somewhere here. So shift the cube root of 8. Well, that's about 2, right? As I said, irrational number. Cube root of 8 is 2. Well, this is fine. This is 2. The square root of that is 2. So these two, therefore, are equal. Negative 3.2 is a bit further away from 0. This negative 2.3 is closer. So the closer you are to 0, the bigger the number is. Okay. Again, simply just 1 mark questions for that. Right, so we have got the letter Usakos here. And if we look at how many letters or this word consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it consists of 6. So when you're looking for how many K's you have there, well, it's only 1 out of the 6. If you look at K, it's just 1 out of that. So you leave it like that as a fraction. It's even fine. The letter S is 2 out of 6. Well, you can simplify that to a third also, right? No need to go and write 33.333%, but that would also make do. Then there's no G there, so 0 out of 6 just leave you with 0. Question 11, you have got the following temperatures in degrees Celsius. They were recorded in 1 week, so that must be 7 days, right? So you just make sure that you get it. The mean means you add all of them and you divide by 7. So this is nothing but 17 plus 23 plus 7 plus 12 plus 13 plus 18 plus 8. All of these, then you divide by 7 because we're talking about the week there. Again, you can take out a calculator so you don't make a mistake. All right, just so that you can have everything in order. So you say 17 plus 23 plus 7 plus 12 plus 13 plus 18 plus 8. Well, that answer is 98. And then you divide that 98 by 7. And then you have your answer, which is 14. Okay? So the answer here is 14 because it's 98 divided by 7. Okay? Try to show as much working as possible so you don't have a problem. Right, this one says you're supposed to fill in the empty boxes in the squares above so that each row and each column, rows, columns, and diagonals add up to 0. So we start with the one that we can. So if for this column here to add up to 0, this must be the additive inverse of 5, because if you add everything, there should get 0. So if this is negative 5, that's 3, then this should be 2, such that this is also equal to 0. Right, so if this is a 2, then this should be 1, because 1 plus 2, take away negative 3, or take away 3, should give you 0. And on this side, you have got negative 2, got 3, so this one here should be negative 1, in order for you to have this equal to 0 in all directions. They say find the product of the three numbers in the top row. The top row is, you have got, if I was to write row 1, row 2, and row 3. So this is the top row. So the product will be negative 2, 5, negative 3. So I've got two negative signs. My answer will be positive. All right. So 2 times 5 is 10, and 10 times that is 30. Okay. So that is how you find the solution to that question. Question 13. A radio taxi driver charges a basic fee of $3.50 plus $2.50 per kilometer. All right, so calculate the total amount. So we are looking for the total amount. So you know that $3.50 is the basic, plus then there is a $2.50 charge per kilometer. So that's 12 kilometers. So this is going to give you the total that we are looking for. Okay, so if we grab our calculator and we can actually work that out, we can say, okay, wait a minute, it's 3.5 plus, in brackets, 2.5 times 12. You can go ahead and close that. So obviously $33.50. Okay, don't forget your workings, please. Very important. Question 14. Chantel and Joseph, they share 60 sweets in the ratio of the ages. Chantel is 15, Joseph is 30. Write down the ratio of the ages in the simple form. So Chantel is 15, so it has to be in that order. Joseph is 30. Well, you realize that if you were to simplify the ratio of the ages, it would just be 1:2, because yeah, you divide by 15 here and you divide by 15 there. Okay, so that's what I expect there. Straightforward, which is just 1 mark. They say calculate the amount of sweets that Joseph will get. So Joseph, we know that he gets 2 out of the 3 parts, and the 3 comes from adding 1 plus 2, all right? And then you multiply that by 60 in order for you to find the number of sweets. Okay, so this is going to be 40 sweets that Joseph will receive. Okay, again, make sure that you don't make a mistake. If you are a little bit unsure, always take out the calculator, because you are allowed to use a calculator for these papers, even though the answer might look a little bit straightforward at times. It's very easy to make mistakes in the examinations. Right, write the following numbers in ascending, starting from smallest. So if you look at the smallest one, it has to be 2.4. So 2.46. Then the next one is 2.5. And then the bigger one there is 2.612. Okay, obviously looking at the place value, you'll get an idea. Right, multiplying out, so you multiply that 5x, it's going to give you 10x squared and then 15xy. Right, then 17. The diagram shows point A and point B. Calculate the bearing of point A from B. So that means you go to B from the north line, always in that direction, clockwise direction. So in order for us to find that angle here that we're looking for, well, this theta that I have indicated is nothing but 50 degrees. And the reason for that is that this 130, these angles are between parallel lines and therefore they are supplementary. So that means then, if you look at what we have now, this here is 50 degrees. Then the whole thing should give you a revolution. So in order for us to solve that particular question, you can simply say 360 degrees, take away 50 degrees. Okay, there are many ways you can do this, but then you should get the answer of 310 degrees. Then 18, you're supposed to make x the subject of the formula. That means everything else should move. So you can have 2x equals to 5 plus y. And then in order for you to have x, you take that 5 plus y and you divide that by 2. Right, this answer is also acceptable. Somebody else can come up with a totally different answer, which is exactly the same thing. Okay, as long as you have made x the subject of the formula. Right, 19, they say triangle ABC, then angle ABC is 50, angle BCA is also 50. So what will the size of angle BAC be? Well, this is an isosceles triangle. These two add up to 100. So this should be nothing but 80, because the interior angles of any triangle will be 100 and they add up to 180 degrees. So that is how you actually calculate that missing one. So well, this is 80 degrees. Okay, this is just two straightforward marks for that. Elizabeth invests 5,300 for 3 years, simple interest. Okay, and then they say calculate the interest that you will receive. So the simple interest, the simple interest that she will receive is nothing but that 5,200 times 8% times 3. Okay, you can put everything over 1 if you want to. All right, bottom line is get to solve that question. Well, I can divide here by 100 by taking off that, and then I can go ahead and I can whip out my calculator. Well, to your calculator, you can just simply say, wait a minute, it's 52, let's clear up previously, times 8 times 3. So the interest is 1,248. Make sure that you don't mix up your question. If the question was asking for the amount, then you must take that 1,248 and add it to the 5,200. Well, this could be my equation A and this could be my equation B. So I can make something the subject of the formula. This is a 3-mark question. Whatever method you prefer to, it's totally up to you. Okay, right. So I'm going to use, maybe make x the subject of the formula. So x will be 18 minus y if I make x the subject of the formula. So I would then substitute this into b. So everywhere we have an x, I'm going to substitute it with that value there. So this x now becomes 18 minus y. All right, so it's just now a matter of multiplying. Okay, so you have got 72 minus 4y plus 8y is equal to 52. So if you don't know where the 72 comes from, then you can have a look. So you can see the 72 comes from, if I take, let's just get that small and move it a little bit. So it's playing that game today. All right, so the 72 comes from nothing but 4 times 18. Okay, that's where you get a 72 from. Okay, then later on, we're going to have to say 52 minus the 72, which will give us minus 20. So what I was doing there is I have 4y left here, because if you say 8y minus 4y, that gives you 4y, and 52 minus 72. So I have got 4y is equal to minus 20. Therefore, y is minus 20 divided by 4. So my value of y is negative 5. So now that you know what y is equal to, so y is negative 5. You can actually calculate the value of x, and you already have make x the subject of the formula. So x will be 18 minus negative 5, all right, which gives you 23. And that is the solutions that we are looking for. Again, you could have decided to use any other method in order for you to solve this particular question. Could have made the coefficients the same and also eliminate, you should still get to the same answer. Right, question 22, you're supposed to calculate the area of a circle with a radius of 5. The only problem is if you don't know what the formula is to calculate the radius of, or the area of a circle is pi r squared. I just want to take you back all the way to the beginning of the question paper. And this instruction, very important that you understand. If you don't use your calculator value, you can use 3.142 for pi. So you can use then both two methods in order for you to find the value of pi. So in particular, if I'm going to grab my calculator, because I have a calculator that you see me using, I'll use that. All right. Or somebody else can say, well, the area will be 3.142 times the radius of 5 squared. Anyway, you should still get to the same answer. Okay. So the radius is 5 squared times pi. So I get 25 pi, and then I can give my answer also to 3 significant figures, because again, you have been told if your answer is not exact, you should give your answers to 3 significant figures. Let me just go back there. I think it's a very important bullet point, that one. If the degree of accuracy is not specified in the question, and the answer is not exact, because you are multiplying by an irrational number, so your answer won't be exact if you use pi of the calculator, give your answers to 3 significant figures. Very important that you follow that instruction. So if I take my calculator again, so I've got to clear, so I have 25 times pi. Okay, so it's 78.5 to the significant figures, square centimeter. All right, so we'll also accept if you were using 3.142, for example, times 5 squared. Okay, right, here we have another circle, and they are asking you what is the geometrical name of line AB. Well, if you have to make sure you calculate correctly, or you work out, or you give the right answer, that is nothing but a diameter, special chord, and CD touches the circle, and a line that touches the circle is referred to as a tangent line. Okay. Right, we get to 24. They have a grid here. They are saying enlarge triangle D, the center of enlargement is here at the point 1, 2, and you must enlarge it with a scale factor of 2. Now it's very easy then. So you're just going to multiply the whole thing by 2. So whatever this distance is here is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. So I mean, I'm going to go out more so. This distance here is 2 as well. Okay, so I'm going to go up to 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is where I'm going to have that. So when you enlarge this triangle, okay, so if you were to enlarge the triangle, so it's going to be, it's a little bit out of place, but you get the idea. I'm just going to correct that now. Okay, just to enlarge the triangle and just to make sure that this line is a bit crooked. So let's start all over. So from here, all the way up to there, from here, all the way up to there. Well, you get the idea. Go in a little bit. But that is how you to do that question. They say scale factor. Then you go ahead and you label it E. So E is enlarged. Now, center of rotation, or the center of enlargement rather, is the center 1, 2. Scale factor. So it's like the other one is on top of the other one. It's twice that big. Right, question 25, we have got some vector questions, and they say in the diagram, NM is represented by B, so vector NM, maybe I should just write what vector NM is in terms of column vector. So N to M, again, so look at the arrow, points that direction, it's 1, 2, it's 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 5. So you see, it's 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And NL, vector NL, it's 1, 2, 3. So that's 3, 2. That's 1, 2, 3, and 2 up. All right. What else do I need? Well, I have that information. Now they say write NL as a common vector. Well, I have NL as a common vector. It's 3, 2. Please don't draw a line there. This is not a fraction. Okay. The number on top is the x component, the one under is the y component. Then they say NQ is 2a, right? So N to Q is 2a. Now we know that a is represented by NL. So if NQ is 2a, then it will be 2 times whatever my NL was. NL was 3, 2. Okay, so therefore, I can actually calculate the missing one by simply saying, okay, so that means it's going to be 6, 4. Good. And now I can actually find my point, 6, 4 from N to Q. So it will be 6 units across in the x direction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 4 units up, 1, 2, 3, 4 units up. And they say, mark that point, and that is the point Q on the diagram. Okay. Then they are saying NR is A plus B. Now we know what A is. A is NL. So A is nothing but 3, 2. And we know what B is. B is NM. And NM, I calculated as 2, 5. So that is 2, 5. Right. So what you do is you simply add the x components together as well as the y components together. The resultant vector is 5, 7. Right, so N to wherever R is will be 5, 7. So I'll go back to my diagram. N to R will be 5, 7. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It will be all the way up there. And that's where my R will be. Okay, just make sure A plus B gives you 5, 7. So from N, go 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 7 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So all of them are positive. X goes to the right and the Y value goes up. Okay, and this is all that you had to do. Right, so you needed to work a little bit on the diagram in order for you to determine where those positions will be. Right, question 26, George thinks of a number. We don't know what the number is, so we're going to let the number be x. He multiplies it by 2, and then he takes away 5. Okay, write this information, so it's 2x minus 5. That's just the expression. They say this expression is equal to 10, so 2x minus 5 is equal to 10. Write down the equation and solve it. So 2x is equal to 15. I hope you know where the 15 comes from. And x will be 7.5. And the way you get that is you say half of 7 or 15 give you 7.5. Right. So we have got 25 learners. They are asked what kind of drink do they prefer. So there is something missing here. So you have got 11. you've got 6, you have got 3. So all of these gives you 20. 6 plus 3 is 9, plus 11 is 20. So the 5 here is missing. That is the information that we look for. Now you're supposed to draw a bar chart to represent the information on the table. Well, very, very important that you understand certain things. The number of learners, as you can see here, you've got 4 before you get to another one. So if you have got 4, so what does one little square represent? So 2 divided by 4, so 1 square represents a half. Okay, so that would be 1, that would be 3, for example, 5, and so on and so on and so on. All right, now they say we're supposed to draw a bar graph. So milkshake is 11. So milkshake is 11, so all the way up to there. And how many bar graphs do we have to draw? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Okay, so yeah, you can have, it's totally up to you. Maybe I should just make it a bit smaller so that the information can fit properly, so that we can see everything, so to speak. Okay, so one more down percentage. I'm going to blow it up again for you. So the spaces between the bars should be the same. So they say milkshake should be 11, and then so 11 will be all the way from, let's suppose I start here and I go all the way up to 10, 11, which is somewhere there. Okay, let's do this. This is a little bit out. Well, I'll come to that part. And then energy drink, but this is that yogurt is 6. I just want to draw lines for now before. So I'm going to skip, maybe I'm going to skip. I'm going to take 2 and I'm going to take another 2. They say 6. 6 is all the way up to there. And then 3 for milk. So that is going to be 2 there. Skip 1, 2 there, skip 1. So milk is 3. And so I'm going to have 2 there. Skip 1. Well, this one is going to be 5. So 5 is all the way right up there. Okay, so let me see what can I do to make my graph look a little bit nicer. Okay, I just had to do that. So let's just make it a bit smaller now. Right, so want all that to go to 11. Maybe I'm just going to use my highlighter for now, but I guess you guys will have the idea. You'll know exactly what you should do. All right, very strong. So that's 11. I'm gonna have that. So that whole distance all the way up to there. All right, so that is gonna perhaps be my, remember you're gonna use your ruler, make yourselves nice bar graphs. Okay, let's just bring it down. I want to show you that it's important that you have spaces between the bars, and those spaces should be very much equal. So never mind my rough stuff here, but it should come out nicely. I decided to go for this with this method, so I'll have to stick to it. Okay, don't waste too much time. It's 3 marks, so I skip 1 and I take 2 again. So this is going to be all the way until 6, I believe. So this is the second condition. Then the next one, again, I'm going to skip 1 block. It's totally up to you. And then this one, let's go up to 3. I'm going to use like this. Well, then the next one, I skip 1 block. Again, this one goes all the way up to Z5. Okay, so just make sure that the spaces, you could actually have spaced it more by putting 2 blocks in between, but information is crucial that it is in uniform like that. Okay, so the spaces between the bars should be the same, and then you go ahead and you label them. Okay, so you can go ahead then and label them. I'm just going to try to make it a little bit nicer. Okay, let's just go back to my problem. So the first one is milkshake. So you can turn your page around. This will be milkshake. And the second one, that is going to be yogurt. The way yogurt is written there, I'm just going to write it the same. And then the last one, or the second last one there, is milk. So the other one is shake. So maybe this one I will have to write shake. You get the idea. This one is just milk. And then the last one, obviously, I think it's fruit smoothie. Okay, so this one obviously will be my fruit. Well, something like that, more or less. Okay, but it's very important that you do understand how to space the graphs and equal spaces between your bars. Okay, they don't join, so the spaces should be equal. Okay, I could have decided to take 2, but you get the idea. Also from that, you can clearly see that what the question is saying, a lot of learners, they prefer milkshake because the bar is quite high. Okay, right. So I believe that, and I hope that you have understood most of the time of this question. Maybe just to give you a few hints. Right now, because you're very close to the examination, you need to spot papers, right? So what I mean by that is you should work out about 3 or so previous question papers, okay? Question papers in order for you to be ready for the examination. And remember, when you do core, you do paper 1, and paper 1 is 60 marks, and you do paper 3, and paper 3 is 90 marks. Okay, and you need to score very well in these 2 papers in order for you to pass. Okay, and then another one is there should be time on task. You need to spend time. Come up with a study timetable that will help you, right? Whatever you are using, textbooks, and make sure that in your textbook you do more exam style questions. This is going to assist you a lot in order to, uh, to get ready for the exams. Okay, don't spend too much on a particular topic and then you only get 3 marks asked on it anyway. And then when you are writing, your calculator should be in degree mode. You should always make sure that this is checked and get your equipment right. And then in front of every question paper, you have got the tools that they tell you what you will be needing for that question paper. For example, it is written in the additional material. Like for this one here, you need your geometrical instruments with you. Surely you then, it means you should have these things ready, whether you do paper 1 and paper 2 and paper 3. Don't enter with unnecessary papers that are not part of the examination or what is prescribed there. Okay, but study hard and um, accomplish your goals. Study hard, work hard, right, and it will pay off. Okay, so this is Mr. Max with Suncore for Mathematics. I hope I have provided a little bit of assistance to you and make it a little bit easy for you when you are doing or preparing yourselves for upcoming examinations.